Good morning. The following Zoom session is being recorded and will appear later today on my YouTube channel, Math with Mayo. Therefore, when you participate in the Zoom meeting, if you do not wish for your picture or your name to be made public, please leave the video off and use an alias name. If you have questions during the meeting but do not wish to speak, email me at bmayo@ybcc.edu and I'll respond as soon as I can. All right, so today we're going to be reviewing for the Chapter 4 test. And then tomorrow, there won't be any class meeting. You'll just take the test. You can take it anytime. And as long as you finish it before 11:59 tomorrow night, again, once you open it, the time starts. Also, if you miss problems and want to try and get partial credit, email me the work from those problems, not the corrected work, but the work that led to the wrong answers. If you correct the work and turn it in, I won't even look at it, okay? I just want to see what if you had somewhat of an idea when you were getting the wrong answers. Okay, so today I have a request for 3 problems from section 4.5. So we will take a look at those. And let's see here. First one, this is from section 4.5. This is number 7. And it's the following system of linear inequalities. The first inequality is 3x plus y less than or equal to 5. The second inequality is 4x minus y greater than or equal to -5. All right, so taking a look at the first inequality, I'm going to write its related equation, which is 3x plus y equals 5. Then I'm going to find a couple of ordered pairs. I'm going to go ahead and use the x and y intercepts if that works. If y is 0, we get 3x plus 0 equals 5. So 3x equals 5. Dividing both sides by 3, x equals 5/3. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I looked over the student who requested their work, is they took something like 5/3, and if you put it on your calculator, you get 1.6 repeating, and they wrote something like 1.67, which is not technically correct. You can't round off. So again, use improper fractions. Don't use mixed numbers. Don't use rounded off numbers unless they tell you to. Okay, because if it's off by just a little bit, it's going to mark it wrong. Okay, next, if x is 0, let's find y. 3 times 0 plus y equals 5. So y equals 5. Okay, so now we're going to go over here. We're going to choose the solid line, not the ray or the line segment. Click it till it's blue. We're only going to use 2 points for each line. That was another thing I noticed, that people were finding 4 or 5 points on a line. And for some reason, even if they're correct points, WebAssign doesn't like that. So x is 5/3, y is 0. 5/3 is 1 2/3. Oh, look here, the scale is each square is 2 units. So 1 5/3 is going to be right about there. And then 0.5 is going to be right about there. But I'm going to go over here and I see that it moved. It didn't graph it right where I wanted it to. So I'm going to put in 5/3 0 and 0.5. Okay. Now, also I see that it's less than or equals to, so it includes the solid line. Okay, not a dashed line. Next, I'm going to choose a test point. So back over here, let's see here. Test point, I'm going to use the origin, 0, 0, since it's not on the line. And I'm going to plug it into my linear inequality. 3 times 0 plus 0 less than or equal to 5, 0 less than or equal to 5. That is true. So the point 0, 0 is part of the solution, so I would fill it below the line. And as I looked at with you yesterday, when we go to graph the second line, that shading is going to disappear. So I'm going to make myself a note to say that it's graphed or shaded below that first line. Okay, now let's go back here and look at the second inequality. I'm going to look at the related equation. And again, I'm going to find x and y intercepts. Again, I can use other points. I just use those if I can because they're easy to calculate. If y is 0, 4x minus 0 equals negative 5. So 4x equals negative 5. Divide both sides by 4. X equals negative 5/4. If x is 0, 4 times 0 minus y equals negative 5. So negative y equals negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 1, and y equals 5. So now I have 2 points again. And I'm going to come over here and plot negative 5/4 is like negative 1 1/4. So that's going to be somewhere right about there. And then 0.5 is going to be there. Okay, so again, I've got to fix this. Negative 5/4, 0 and 0.5. This also includes the equals to. So it's a solid line. I can also use the origin or 0, 0 as a test point for this second line. And plug that in there. 4 times 0 minus 0 greater than or equal to negative 5. 0 is greater than or equal to negative 5, so that's true. So for this second line here, we would shade this part. Okay. So let's recap here. The first line, this one, we shade those two pieces. The second line, this one, we shade those two pieces. So where do they overlap? Right there. So that should be the final answer. I'm not going to click on submit the answer because this is a different problem than the one I'm doing, but I needed the grid to show it. All right, I'd ask if there's any questions, but there's nobody else here. So we're going to go on to the next problem. And that is again in 4.5. This is number 8. The two inequalities are 2x plus y greater than or equal to 5 and y less than or equal to 4x minus 1. So we're going to use the exact same process. We'll take the first inequality and we'll rewrite the related equation. Then we'll find two ordered pairs. If y is 0, 2x plus 0 equals 5. So 2x equals 5, dividing both sides by 2. X is 5/2. If x is 0, 2 times 0 plus y equals 5. So y equals 5. Now, 5/2 is exactly 2.5 or 2.5. So in this case, you could use 2.5 in your ordered pair, but only because it's an exact decimal and the improper fraction always works. So I'm just going to stick with that. Okay. So 2.5, once again, our scale here is in 2s. So 2.5 is about there. 0.5 is about there. It has an equal sign, so it's going to be a solid line. Let's see, I need to fix that point. 5/2 and 0.5. So there's our first line. And I'm going to use 0, 0 as a test point. Again, I have to use a test point that's not on the line. So as long as 0, 0 is not on the line, it's good for a test point. 2 times 0 plus 0 greater than or equal to 5, 0 greater than or equal to 5, that is false. So it would not be on this side of the line because 0, 0 is there. So it's going to be over here. And so I'll make a note here that we're going to shade above that line. And now let's go to the second inequality. We'll write the related equation. And find two ordered pairs. If y is 0, 0 equals 4x minus 1, we'll add 1 to both sides. 1 equals 4x. Divide by 4, x equals 1/4. If x is 0, we get y equals 4 times 0 minus 1, or y equals -1. So we start over, we get a line, and we've got 1/4 comma 0. That's going to be right about there. And then 0, -1 is going to be right about there. So let's see, I need 1/4 comma 0 and 0, -1. Okay. This also includes the equal sign. So again, that line is solid. And oh, let's see. Boy, 0, 0 is not on that line. But if you're not sure, you can pick some other point. Tell you what, let's pick for this one. Let's go with, how about 10, 10. So we'll pick that point right there to test for this second line. Okay. So test point 10, 10. That's going to go up there. 10 less than or equal to 4 times 10 minus 1, 10 less than or equal to 40 minus 1, 10 less than or equal to 39. That is true. So for the second line, we would fill over here. Okay, let's see here. So that's going to be like this and that. Okay, so let's recap. This first line, we would shade above it. Okay. The second line, we would shade below it. So where do they intersect? Over here. So that would be the solution. Okay. We have one more problem we're going to do here. And this is number 11. The first inequality is x plus y greater than 0. The second one is y minus x less than -2. So we'll take the first inequality and write the related equation. We'll go after the intercepts. If y is 0, x plus 0 equals 0, so x equals 0. Oh, so this inequality goes through the origin, or the equation part does. So I can't use this because I just get 0, 0 again. So let's just go with, how about 1? If x is 1, 1 plus y equals 0. Subtract 1 from both sides, y equals -1. So I've got 0, 0, and 1, -1. 0, 0, and 1, -1. Didn't graph where I wanted it to, not a problem. I can come over here and fix it. Okay, and this does not include equals, so this is a dashed line rather than a solid line. Also, I can't use 0, 0 as a test point because this goes right through the origin. So let's see. How about, well, let's use 10, 10 again. This point right there, okay? (10 plus 10 greater than 0, 20 greater than 0, that's true. So for this dotted line, we would fill above the line. Again, I'll make myself a note here. So my dotted line and filling above it. Okay. Let's go over to the second inequality. And we'll write, whoops, the related equation. And I'm going to find two ordered pairs there. Y is 0, 0 minus x equals -2. Negative x equals -2. Oops. Divide both sides by -1, x equals 2. If x is 0, y minus 0 equals -2. So y equals -2. And we'll come over here. Let's see, 2, 0 is right there. 0, -2 is right there. 2, 0, 0, -2. Ah, this one also needs to be dashed because it does not include the equals. All right, so we've got this one. And, oh, we could use 0, 0 as a test point for this one. We'll go ahead and do that. So test point 0, 0, plug that in there. 0 minus 0 less than -2, 0 less than -2. That is false. So for this, my mouse, there it is. So for this line, it does not include 0, 0. So we would fill over here. So as a recap, for this dashed line, we would fill here and here. For this dashed line, we'd fill here and here. So where do they overlap? Right there. So that should be the correct answer. All right, well, those are the only questions that somebody emailed me, and there's nobody else here to ask questions. So I'm going to stop this recording. Just a reminder, I will be back this afternoon at 1:15 with an office hour if you should have questions. Again, your test is tomorrow. You can take it anytime up until tomorrow night at 11:59, but once you start it, the time starts. And again, if you want to try and get partial credit, keep track as you go along as to which problems you miss, and then email me the work from those problems, but don't correct your work. Okay. With that, I'm going to stop the recording. Have a great rest of the day.